Today we're going to be taking a look at a watch from the Canadian brand Whitby Watch Co. They've just come out with a new chronograph diver, the Alpine. I have this really cool summery color version of the watch, and no better place to test drive a watch than a long weekend at the Cottage. We have a huge family get-together today happening, about 25 people coming up, and should be a good time. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing some fishing. I'm just on the way into town to grab some fishing supplies and some food and a few things right now. And once we're done with the weekend activities, we'll bring this back home and take a look at the watch. Didn't even have time to get the camera gear out. First cast. Got a pretty nice size sunfish here. Not bad. Out for the first paddle in quite a long time. We had our family get together yesterday, had a lot of fun, but a little bit more quiet here today. Gonna go and see if I can catch a fish. Hopefully the Whitby brings me a little luck. Alright, so back from a fun weekend at the Cottage. No fish, at least out on my paddle, but still had a blast. The Alpine from Whitby Watch Co. was great for the trip up, and I especially liked this colorful version of the watch. There's a few versions of the watch. There's a black dial in both steel and DLC. There's a blue and a panda, and I might be missing another model, but they all look really nice. Whitby is a Canadian brand, and there's pretty well always a tie-in with Canadian history or geography with their watches. These are all named after passes of the Canadian Rocky Mountains, with this version being named after the Sunwapta Pass, which is the boundary between the Banff and Jasper National Parks. The dial has a lot of details and different textures, so there's lots to take in. Depending on the model you choose, some have this dial configuration, some have a tachometer. Really liked this colorful combination with the different shades of blues and orange against the white dial. Up top, we have the company logo and company name printed below that. Running the watch is the Seiko VK63 Mecha Quartz movement. We'll get that going here right now. And as for subdials, over at the 3 o'clock is the time in 24 hours, which you can use as an AM PM indicator. Down at the 6 is the running seconds with the date just below that. Then over at the 9 o'clock is the minutes totalizer for the chronograph. On the outer edge of the dial is the markers in orange, and framing in the dial is the light blue rehaut. Considering how busy the dial is, it's still quite legible. We'll stop here and reset the chronograph, and it is just as legible at night. Pretty well everything has lume here, and it's really good lume too. The bezel fades a little quicker than the rest, but still pretty happy with the lume performance on the watch. The bezel is a 120 click bezel with good grip and a satisfying action. Both the feel in hand and the sound. It is a domed sapphire insert, which is a cool look for the watch. The case has an angular Thule design. We've got a signed crown, and I like the way the pushers are machined. The case back has a really nice, deeply pressed piece of artwork there, and although it is a larger watch, it still wears really well. The H-link bracelet is also well constructed. No quick release, and the links are sized with push pins, but it's a solid feeling bracelet. The clasp is signed here with the company logo and also has an on-the-fly adjustment system. Size on the watch when it comes to the case width is a little tricky to measure with the pushers and the crown guards there, but the diameter of the bezel is right at 44 millimeters, and the watch wears about that size, I find. The lug to lug is 51.1 millimeters, lug opening is 22 millimeters, and the thickness is 14.4 millimeters, including the AR treated domed sapphire. Water resistance is 200 meters. And here it is on my 7.25 inch wrist. And for a larger watch, it sits very comfortably on wrist. Love the fun colors. And depending on the color you go with, they all have a really different vibe from each other, which is cool. Cost for these come in at $6.99 Canadian dollars, but these are currently on sale for $5.94 up until the 10th of August, somewhere in the neighborhood of about $4.30 USD if you catch the sale. Link to where you can find these will be below. Appreciate you taking a few minutes to stop by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.